Okay.
I guess it's on.
Well, do you want me to check it? Hey, do you see something?
Live. It says live. You're on.
Okay. Hello. Hi, everybody. We'll wait just a few more seconds to have people join us. I hope everybody's doing well during this crisis that we're in. So yeah, just want to check, make sure it's 3 o'clock so that we can start promptly. And yes, we are at 3 o'clock. Yes. So how are you doing out there? We hope you're doing well. Good afternoon. I'm Pam Granger Gale with Magic Studios here in Asheville, North Carolina. We wanted to join you today to give you some calming videos of marbling. I know lots of you have been enjoying the magical marbling reveal that I've created on Facebook and Instagram, and I truly appreciate all of your views. But what could be better than having a live view of me doing the marbling? And that's what I'm here today to do, is to show you the marbling and let you just breathe and relax. Who needs that now? I do. So I'm just going to kind of walk through the process of marbling step by step and chat with you about a variety of different things. Sort of like a class, but because you're there and I'm here, I'm going to have to anticipate your questions. So newspaper strips are your friends. So you're going to stretch that out and stretch it across your surface of your size. And most people say, well, what do you use? And I say, I use methyl cellulose, which is plant starch that's been cooked out of any plant that's not endangered. So, and why are you doing the skimming of the tray? Well, I skim the tray for 2 reasons, maybe 3. One is to skim off hair, air bubbles, and dust. That's the first reason, especially right now. And then the second reason that I do it is once you put paint on, you want to clean the surface of the sides off. So I go through newspaper strips a lot. And if you're here in Asheville, there's several free publications that you can find and load up on some free paper samples. So now that this is all clean and smooth, I'm going to move to my paint. I have yellow and red, they're both warm colors. I have blue, green, and purple, and they're cool colors. And then I have white to add some accent to any of the designs that I do. So I've learned to use pipettes to apply these paints. And I love my bright colored paints. So you squeeze some paint up into the pipette and then you're going to let it drop. And you're watching it expand and take on new shapes. Wow, isn't that bright and cheery? So next I want to put on another color. And right now I'm thinking of warm, cheerful colors so that we can have some nice, bright, spring-like papers. Next, I want to do a cool color so that it will set up some contrast, because those are some of the best things to have when you are marbling, is to have some contrast. Oh, the blue's being stubborn. And I don't know if you can see it right now, but I will show you right here. He doesn't like being on top of the red, and he looks like he's unhappy. And he's sinking to the bottom of the tray. So there's a product called Marbling Surfactant. And I'm going to add 2 or 3 drops to the blue, and I'm going to stir it up and make the blue work a little better, float a little better. And I often say that the colors in the paints are like children. What I learned today is different than what I may learn tomorrow, you know. So the temperature and the humidity are different right now, so I'm going to have to try a different color. So I'm going to try some green, because I want to see the paint expand and see the green is behaving nicely. He doesn't mind being on top of the red. Sometimes the blue doesn't like the color that he's on top of, and if you just reverse that order of colors, it works better. So, tools. And I should talk about this tray. This is a photo tray, but there are many options for trays. I'm going to start off with my first tool of a knitting needle. You can do a skewer, a toothpick, or any single point, and then you can just draw through the size and the paint and create your design. Oh, did I hear somebody say, how do you make a heart? I think I did hear that. Let me do this design, and I will put some more red on and show you how to make a heart. But look, I'm just drawing lines and curves and swirls, and they're almost like yin-yangs. Wow, look at that. I like that. It's bright and colorful. So you can get red. Let me drop it maybe right there in that green and let it expand. I think we all need a little love right now. So then with your single point, take it and draw all the way through it, and you've gotten a heart. You've made a heart. So I'm going to get a piece of paper. Now this is just ordinary copy paper. It has a sizing in it, and it has to be at least 24 pounds a weight. That's a weight of paper. When you put 500 sheets together, it should, I don't know, or maybe it's a ring and you put that much paper together and it weighs 24 pounds. So now, if you're a big fan of Magical Marbling Reveals, you're going to have seen this part many times of somebody laying their paper down very carefully and then taking it up. And let me grab my sleeves. I grab the opposite corners. I'm going to roll it up. And wow, look at that. Now green's kind of working or acting a little bad right now. He's running, which didn't make for the best Magical Marbling Reveal. But the paint was floating on the surface of the methyl cell, so it's going to rinse off. But it doesn't affect the other colors in the design. So what I may do when I get back to the tray, ooh, and I just caught the heart. Wow, I nearly missed it. Did you see that? It's right up at the top corner. So, and then look at how bad the blue was. He totally didn't pay attention and didn't want to expand. So I'm going to try a different order on my next print, so that the blue has a chance to shine. Okay, so you rinse it about 2 or 3 times, and then you're going to pull it off and hang it on a drying rack. And I brought out my best drying rack. No, it's the one I found. So you can make your own drying racks. You can find them on the side of the road usually. And so I drape it over and let it drip. And I have a paint cloth underneath that to help prevent the paint from dripping on our floor. So now you're back with your favorite friend, the newspaper strip. And I'm going to very carefully skim the surface, and this time you can see that I'm doing something. And I skimmed maybe 1/3 of the tray, and then I'm going to skim another 1/3. And it's still getting paint off. I'll skim another 1/3 or 1/4. I was never really good with fractions. I was more into art. Okay, more paint skim. Now I'll talk about what you're seeing. You're seeing some of that paint. It looks like it's being dragged across the surface. Sometimes it is, and then sometimes it's suspended. You know, like the blue that you saw when the video first started was on the bottom, but some of this paint that's floating here is suspended in the methyl cell, but the surface is totally clean, and that's why you skim to see that nothing is on the surface. So what I'm seeing, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's lots of yellow and red, so I'll skim an extra time to try to get rid of that. But the other fun thing I like to see is that you have surprise colors that show up in the next print that you make. So I'm going to assume that that green is underneath the top layer, and I'm going to carry on. So this time I want to do blue on top, because you saw how it didn't like to be second or third. Now let's watch the blue. Oh, he's in that me first category. He wants to be the first color on the tray. Look at how big he is. It's really getting big. Now I'm going to try a different color. I'm going to try some purple on top. And sometimes the more colors you put on, the better. It just creates a beautiful pattern. Now, you may stop and say, well, what is this pattern? This pattern has a name. This is the stone pattern. Anytime you have worked and left the drops of paint as they are, it becomes a stone pattern. And sometimes you run out of paint in your pipette. So the more paint, the better. I may even add up with some red on here. Let's see if red likes to go on top of all these colors. Oh, you know something about the marbling paint? A lot of times people ask, well, don't they mix? No, the science around marbling is that each color is suspended in its own space, and it doesn't mix with each other. It just bumps up and creates a, you know, makes room for itself. So it worked last time with the knitting needle and the toothpick or skewer, and the design was called Freestyle. And how many of you are following me on Facebook and Instagram? This week's theme is Freestyle. So you're getting to see a live demo of Freestyle. And I'm just showing you some other different tools. These are the cones and the forks or something that you can get at your home. I bet you have a few of those that are extra that you need to do something different with. You may even have some of these funky cones from the 80s. And this one is a historic 1980 cone from when I was first starting marbling. So I'm going to now draw through this. And again, Freestyle is available and accessible to anyone, because anyone can do exactly what I'm doing. Just flow, just move whichever direction. And you know what's so fun about this is you're not drawing a person. It doesn't have to look like a person. It's not an apple. So you're just drawing in whatever direction you would like. So this art form is really accessible to everyone. And Freestyle is very accessible too. I don't know, I'm just playing here and having fun. So then when you have your pattern, you're going to put paint on it. Do y'all like that? Oh, please comment below if you like things, if you want to see something different. Please give me suggestions for next week. Ooh, I'm letting a secret out. And yeah, tell me what you like, what you want to see. I love having suggestions, because I need help, virtual help, during this time. So I got ahead of myself. I dried my board. I'm going to take my paper now. All right. I'm going to lay it down. Boy, I get to, on this big tray, I get to kind of choose where I want my paper to be placed. And you lay it down gently. And you lay it like this rather than dropping it because you don't want air bubbles. Okay, here we go. And voila, the blue's having problems now, but it played well on the surface. How many of you are enjoying this right now? Yay, do I hear a round of applause? Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna learn how to do these Facebook Lives yet. So there is another freestyle. All right, I want to do a different type of freestyle here in just a minute. I'm gonna put this on my drying rack and let it drip. You can see in the background one I did for practice before this started. You know what this board is, ladies and gentlemen? This is a corrugated cardboard. And I don't know about you, but if you've seen around town lately, there are a lot of these. They kind of have some words on them. And so most of them may be free if you want to pick one up and then spray paint it so you don't have any words on your board, because it's helpful to have something to lay your paper on. Okay, one more thing I want to do, and then we will talk some more. A whisk. This is just broom sedge, like a broom, an old-fashioned broom. So, okay, I'm going to do something really different, really risque. I'm not going to clean my tray. I'm going to put more paint on. I'm going to splatter more paint on. I know there's one thing that I didn't use, and that's been white. But I think I'm going to put some green on. And for this, you're going to take the pipette and your whisk, and you're going to hold it over the garbage can. And you're going to squirt the paint in the end of the whisk. And you know, the reason you do that is so that you don't contaminate your paint in your cup. So then I hit it slightly, and then I'm going to just hit it against my hand to get the droplets to come out. So this is going to be a very awesome stone. I think I'm going to end up with an awesome stone here. So let me put some yellow. As an artist, I know that yellow and green make a lighter color of green, so I'm adding the yellow on second, so that it'll make that green show up a little better. And it'll be just a lighter version. Yeah. Okay, very good. I want to use some of this. This is white, because we're working on white paper. It's going to expand some areas in this design so that you will have some perfectly round circles. One day this week, I think, or it was last week, that I did some awesome stone patterns that people had done similar to this. So how about that? But now I realized what I'd done. I'd put the white on top of the green and yellow, so I'm going to add purposefully some white dots so that you'll see the white and what it can do to a design that's dark. And then before I lay my paper down, I'm going to take care of this air bubble here and that one there. You can take care of those with your dry fingertip or with an edge of a piece of newspaper. And now look at that. That's the back. It's gotten some splatters. But I'm going to place it down and capture this awesome design. It is way too cool. Just wait. All right. I know something I do also is just count silently to 3 to make sure the paper's had a chance to absorb the paint. And now I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to rinse it so that then we have these Wonderful, wonderful white. They're like moons, I think, on a colorful landscape. Oh, wow. Is that not cool? Now, the trick with this is to rinse it off when it first comes off the tray so that the color doesn't stain the white. I could fix that one more time by putting some surfactant in the blue and green. That would make it float on the surface more. But these were just practice times, and isn't that fun? Raise your hand if you like that one. Comment below, that's what I should be saying. Alrighty, so who has suggestions for what I should do next week? Oh, I hope I'm getting loads of suggestions. I have a friend helping me with the tech part and videoing, so I truly appreciate her being here. So, how many of you now are inspired to try marbling at home? Because we are and should be at home. I know, don't tell anybody. I'm in the studio with only one other person. So here's something special I have. I have a marbling kit with almost everything you need. There are a few things that I didn't include, like the newspaper strips. You can marble on fabric, because if you have noticed, I'm wearing a scarf. I've not included any paper, but I told you what kind of paper to get. You need to get 24-pound weight copy paper. And the reason for that is it just holds up a little better. And don't get any paper that's heavier than that, because it doesn't bend and is not malleable enough for you. So then, oh my goodness, absolutely right, you need a tray. Guess what? This is a cookie tray from the Dollar Tree. And guess what it cost? Not much, $1. So those are the things that you will need to supply, but look at all the other things that I have for you in the tray. I have cups, just like mine, and pipettes to apply your paint. I have alum. Alum's important in two reasons. One for soaking your fabric in and or creating a spray for paper. Then there's methyl cellulose. That's what is in the tray. See, it comes in a powder form, and you have enough for 2 gallons of size. And then you have an awesome cup holder tray made by the Asheville Makers right next door to me. You get one of those to hold your cups in place. And I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I tend to get a little shaky with my things. And I like to leave them here in space, in the spot. So you get directions for how to create the tray. You get your 6 colors. You get yellow, blue, green, purple, red, and then the white, which is called colorless extender. Then this little special bottle is called marbling surfactant, and that's what helped make the blue work a little better on that second go round. You have an assortment of tools, like some of the ones you saw me use. You've got these. This is about a 1/2 inch space. These are my close spaces, and this is an inch space. You have your own whisk, and then you have a single point, which is the toothpick, or a short skewer, I guess is what that is. And then probably one of the most important things you have are these directions on what to do to set up your studio, how to make the methyl cell, how to make the alum, how to set things up for yourself. So this whole kit with all these awesome things is $47. And that's great. It's on Facebook. So if you go up and look on my Magic Studios, add a little magic to your life, homepage of Facebook, you'll see a Shop Now button. So you want to click the Shop Now, and it'll take you directly to the page where you can check out with a marbling kit. Also, fun thing, I'll be glad to do private instruction for you, or troubleshooting. Let's say you got everything, you figured it out, you're having trouble. Well, I'll be glad to do a private session with you. I guess we all know what Zoom is nowadays. So it'll be a private Zoom session, an hour long for $29. It's a bargain. And then if you want a longer session, the 2-hour session is $59. So just reach out, and that's on that same page when you click Shop Now from Facebook. And let's see. So I kind of gave you a hint that I want to do this every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So I'd like for you to tune in next week at 3 o'clock. I'll do something a little different. I don't know, I may have a different setup. I may be using a cookie tray. I may be using this same tray, but I'll show you something else that may be a little bit different and fun. So, okay, I've run out of words here for just a minute. And take a breath. So I really appreciate all of you who are watching. Thank you so much. Make sure you like, follow, and what's the other word? Like, follow, and friend Magic Studios on Instagram and Facebook. I'd love to have you, and if you have any questions, reach out to me. You can type it in the chat down below here, or you can send me a private message on Facebook. Okay, thanks, kiddos. I hope to see you next week at 3 o'clock. That's on a Wednesday.